Hey all, and welcome to D&D 101. In this session, we're going to talk about the dice. Now, there are a lot of different dice in D&D, but the main one is this dice here, the D20, the 20-sided dice. D just standing for dice or die, it's a simple acronym. This one determines all the skill checks and if you will hit a bad guy when you're in a combat, and also your initiative. Initiative, just quickly on the side here, which we will cover properly in the Combat 101 session, is the order of play when you get into combat, and we use this dice to determine how high up the ladder you are to see who goes first. We have the D12. This pretty much is completely reserved for calculating damage with certain weapons. That goes also mostly for the D6, the D4, the D8, and your D10. Your D10, however, can get called the percentage dice. That is when you combine these two D10s together, being able to work out up to 100. Now these tend to get used when a DM is rolling on a table. So you might say be adventuring through a jungle. The DM might ask for somebody to roll the percentage dice, and what they're going to be doing behind the scenes is checking out on an encounters table what actually has happened while you're doing this adventure. That pretty much is the only time that dice gets used. So, as we said before, the D20 is the dice that you are going to use the most of in D&D. Two other key things about this dice: if you are rolling to attack, we have the concept of a critical failure and a critical success. A critical failure occurs when you roll a 1 on this dice. If you receive a 1, this allows the DM to determine a small order of events of what's happened in that combat as you have epically failed. Typically this is just something as you missed hitting that bad guy who's standing right in front of you and swung round and hit a friend who's right next to you, or dropped your sword, hit yourself, fell over to knock yourself prone. We will talk about what that is when we get to combat. However, if you roll a 20, what is also known as a natural 20, you get a critical success. Now, critical success is great because what this then means is not only have you injured this creature, you have injured it for twice the attack dice. So let's assume, for example, that your damage from rolling, from attacking them, say with, let's say the rapier, which is a D8. It would mean that you get to roll 2 of your D8s, add the total together, and then there's usually a modifier that you will add, but again we will talk about that when we get to combat. You might be rolling at some point for advantage or disadvantage. When you're asked to roll for advantage, you're rolling 2 of the D20s and you take the highest number. If you're asked to roll disadvantage, you roll the 2 of the D20s and you take the lowest number, and it's that simple. Okay, so yes, that is dice rolls. That is all the events of where you're going to actually use them. So you've all been awesome. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep it geeky.